The Police, Ghost in the Machine, right now on States and Kingdoms. Welcome back to States and Kingdoms. Jenna here.
Sean here.
Today we're talking about The Police's Ghost in the Machine from 1981. This is their fourth album. Fourth album.
Mm-hmm. And the reason this came up was because of this.
You have your own.
Mm-hmm. Get this out of here. Get this out of here.
Did you show the back?
No.
It's a picture disc.
I'll show the back on camera.
See, nice picture. Made in Germany.
Floss. That wasn't worth anything. Let's put that there. If you're our age, The Police are like a fact of life. You grew up with all their songs. All the songs were on the radio.
And
you saw these. Well, yeah. You knew these songs from the time, I was very young. And so in a way, it's almost like I didn't have an opinion of them because they were just a matter of fact.
Yeah, and I think I listened to them. In this case, I think I listened to The Police a little bit more than you did.
Yeah, because you were listening to them, so I decided not to listen to them.
So they were like my band, but not really.
I would do that every now and then. Sometimes I would listen to what you were listening to, and then sometimes I would. So in this case,
not to.
You listen to The Police, and I listen to the Criminals.
Yeah.
It's not funny at all. I know why you're laughing. Did you see how I set that up?
Yeah, that was good. That was good. This is an album that I listened to. I thought I listened to it a lot. And then when we started listening to it more recently, I realized I only listened to the first side. And I hardly ever listened to the second side. Because... And that's something we're going to talk about, obviously. For some reason, on the original, all of the really famous songs, all the singles, are all stacked in the beginning of the album.
When we were listening to it, we both basically said at the same time that a couple of songs, at least a couple of these songs, and it was Hungry for You and Demolition Man, we felt shouldn't be next to each other.
Yeah, back to back, they're way too similar.
They're kind of, there's a lot of like saxophone and jamminess, and Demolition
Similar
Man
tempo.
is, in my opinion, too long, really. That happens throughout the album. It's like this, you have three great songs right at the beginning, and there are other good songs on here, but you have a couple of songs that are kind of repetitive next to each other.
Yeah.
You have, Hungry for You and Demolition Man next to each other. It opens side 2 with Rehumanize Yourself, and then goes into One World, which feels rhythmically like stepping backwards.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, because it starts very upbeat, energetic, and then it kind of goes back into a little bit more of a groovy thing.
So we were just talking about, it's like, wow, because we talk about the track listing. We've talked about it before. It's a really interesting thing when you put an album together, even on an album with really good songs, great songs.
Right.
You can mess things up if you don't have them in the proper sequence.
Totally. So then,
that's what we're talking about.
Imagine the odds. So we're having this discussion, right? You remember. And then we do like the teeniest little bit of digging and find out that The Police didn't even intend this to be the final track listing. And then at the very same time, we find this lovely record.
Well, yeah, I mean, this really kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, there haven't been a lot of Police reissues or box sets or anything really. I mean, it's not a band that puts a lot of stuff out. So so I was kind of surprised, and I had no idea that there was ever any contention about the track listing.
No, me neither.
It was released like right as we were looking for it.
Yeah, no, it was really, really funny timing because, just as we started looking into this and listening to it again, there's this new release of a picture disc with the alternate sequencing.
By comparison, the new picture disc version, just as far as the track listing, because honestly,
not talking about the sound.
It doesn't sound anywhere near as good as this to me.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't really.
Yeah. No, I agree.
This original, hold it up high. Sounds really great. Actually.
It does that. It does.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it's a little noisy, but
The picture disc is.
I do prefer that track order.
Yeah.
I really do. You know, you open with a great song, "Visible Sun," which has a kind of hypnotic, pace to it that is really leading you in to the album.
Yeah.
You know, then you have "Demolition Man,"
So
which
it kind of
is
shocks you into
much more of
something.
a
There goes your energy.
an energetic song, more punchy and long. But the length of it here, even though I still think it's too long,
Yeah.
it doesn't slow everything
Yeah,
down
because you
in
just
the
got
same
started,
way.
so you don't mind. You don't mind yet. So then putting "Secret Journey" as track 3 is interesting.
I don't need it there, to be honest. And "Darkness" actually works really well at the end of the album.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit of an interesting choice putting it at number 3 because it has a kind of, and maybe this is just my bias from listening to this version, for so long, but it does feel like a little bit of a wrapping up of like a summing up of what we've already been through kind of song.
The main thing is this track order though. It just varies the rhythms of the songs better.
No, so you have like pauses and
it's pretty.
breaks
I mean, it's really pretty simple. I mean, you don't have two songs that are too similar.
Yeah.
Or two songs that are kind of the most repetitive songs on the album.
Right next to each other.
That are right next to each other. They.
Yeah, it makes you want to skip one.
I'm not sure why they did that on the original, but this is definitely good.
One thing with the original version that I always found very odd was putting "Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic" so early on in the record.
Yeah.
I like it when you make me wait a little bit for the best song.
Well,
always. Like any album, like the song that I bought the album for, make me wait. Make me listen to most of the album first before I get to that song.
I don't want an album telling me what to do.
I want them to make me wait. So I do like that on the alternate, having that on the second side.
Yeah.
Where it is. So then having "Once Upon a Daydream" following "Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic" feels very nice. Because I always thought "Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic" is a little bit of an outlier to the rest of the album. It sounds a little different.
Is.
It sounds a little bit different from the rest of the album. Yeah. And "Once Upon a Daydream" has something of a similar quality. There's something that seems to fit back to "Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic." So it has a friend.
What's funny about the Police is that I'm not a huge Police fan necessarily, but like I said, it's just one of those bands that you know so many of their songs, you've heard them, you listen to their albums because you kind of have to, and it's hard for me to pick favorites, but I honestly think this is my least favorite Police record, and the track order is actually kind of a big part of that.
Yeah.
There are some great songs. "Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic" is a wonderful song, and I actually really like "Invisible Sun." "Spirits in the Material World" is, a classic, But the thing this album, still, no matter what order you put the tracks in, I'm just not hearing Andy Summers enough. And that really is what I want to hear on a Police record. And on "Synchronicity,"
it's there.
He's there. He's there again.
It seems like they made a real concerted effort to diminish the guitar and up the... It sounds like Sting made a real effort to diminish the guitar and up the synthesizers.
It's just buried. It's just kind of buried.
Yeah. And it is. It truly is.
And that's what makes the Police interesting. I mean, really.
Well, even on a couple of the songs that work really well, I think the guitar is there at least in a little bit, and it helps to punctuate, the song. Like the songs,
it's there on Andy Summers' song,
right? So the songs tend to kind of just like do this, and then without the like, the thing that Andy Summers does, that's really missing. It's missing.
The thing about the Police that is interesting is the entwining of like rhythm and melody, and the three of them, the way it all kind of melds together in a very austere kind of way, is what makes them so interesting. And they have, very good melodies. Here, it's just, there's a lot of overload and just not enough guitar. I mean, there are a couple of songs, Too Much Information, which I like, and Rehumanize Yourself, and One World, that, they are repetitive and a little bit too long.
Yeah.
This song is talked up as being either more poppy, which is fair, or jazzier, which is kind of strange to me because I actually feel like they were jazzier before.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they were always poppy.
Well, yeah, no, Sting songs lend themselves to that. Sting songs.
Sting songs. In a lot of ways, Omega Man is one of the more interesting songs on the album. Kind of has a little bit of a different sound.
Well, I think both Stuart Copeland's song and obviously Rehumanize Yourself is also his song, but but the last two songs on this and the third and fourth songs on, not third and fourth, what is it? What, I can't remember. Who cares? But the last two songs on this that they wrote do sound a little bit more like the Police. Sting was clearly kind of going in another direction, and I'm not as interested in that direction.
Yeah.
I never have been. But it is interesting. This album is actually itself kind of an outlier in their canon. The first three records are pretty sparse. They're developing a sound, but it's really there by the second album anyway. And you could say even really by the first, but it's definitely there by the second. The sound is really interesting. Andy Summers' guitar playing is fun to listen to. It's textural. You can clearly hear everything.
Yeah.
There's no hiding behind anything, Certainly not overproduced.
Yeah, a true three-piece in the beginning.
This is, in some ways, so different.
Yeah.
Synchronicity is almost a stranger record, but it's more like the first three to me than this is. But this album to me, I would have enjoyed more if it had always been.
Yeah, it is easier to listen all the way through to the alternate track listing.
Yeah.
It's just there's something that feels more balanced, and it's just easier and more pleasant. I agree with you. I think I like Darkness.
It's more varied. Yeah.
I like Darkness at the end, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the alternate list is it's quite stunning how different the album sounds.
It is. It's the mood of the thing shifts.
Yeah.
And like side 2 opening with One World and then going into Rehumanize Yourself, which is just switching the order of those. It gives it such a different feel.
Yeah.
And I really do prefer that. But like we said, this sounds so much better than the picture disc.
This record, the original, sounds wonderful.
It does. It's a good sounding album, really.
Thank you so much for watching our discussion of Ghost in the Machine. Please let us know what you think of this album in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. And please stay tuned here at States and Kingdoms for more videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We will see you next time.